would be impossible for me to stand here today in Germany talking about AI with not having one of our most important players in the ecosystem, our nation-beloved SAP. And we're lucky to have Fei join us here today, who's the head of AI, and we'll be talking about specifically the million-dollar question on all of our minds on how do we use generative AI for industry, something I can't wait to hear your talk. So thank you.
Today, we have listened to many talks about generative AI and the foundational model. I'm going to share with you about how generative AI can contribute to the success of industry. Of course, we are still in the very beginning. Before I start with my part, I want to invite Thomas Sauer-Essig, our board member of SAP, and he's responsible for the product success. And the floor is Thomas. Let's show his video.
Thank you for inviting me to talk to you today. As leading minds in AI research, as policymakers, and those who recognized the importance of AI, it's my pleasure to talk about SAP's AI perspective, and I wish I could have joined you in person. Today, the question whether AI will revolutionize the way we live and work is no longer relevant. The only relevant question now is how we will shape this revolution together. The title of today's conference is absolutely fitting: The Rise of AI. It's exactly what we've been experiencing at warp speed over the past few months. Generative AI has completely disrupted the AI conversation, and there's huge excitement here at SAP. In just a few weeks, we have identified over 80 use cases, like creating test scripts and code documentation, as well as supporting employee HR queries. And of course, we are also developing customer use cases, like defining business process models using natural language in our SAP Signavio Process Manager, or quickly addressing customer support requests, or customizing the product information we share with our customers. And we are also engaging with multiple partners to embed foundational models into business applications. But what is needed today is high-quality training data for the European markets that our customers operate in and access to a powerful digital infrastructure. This will take collaboration across many sectors, including industry, policymakers, investors, and innovators. Speaking on behalf of our customers, they need applications that are developed on top of generic large language models, adapted to their specific needs. Currently, almost 3/4 of all AI models come from the US and 15% from China. Europe must not miss this paradigm shift. Analysts estimate that the global market for artificial intelligence in software grew by 22% from 2021 to 2022, not even considering the JGBT impact. So we are paying attention to this mega trend. At SAP, we are perfectly positioned to influence the future use of AI foundational models. We help run the world's most business-critical processes, integrate across the whole value chain. We have the broadest portfolio of business applications, covering more than 25 industries. The Hamburg Port Authority is a great example of these. It handles millions of cargo containers every year, with no space to expand their fleet of trucks to keep up with the growing number of containers. We help them use their infrastructure efficiently and intelligently. This was only possible through AI. We are committed to our vision of supporting every customer to become a networked, intelligent, and sustainable enterprise. AI made in Europe is essential to that vision. That's why we are participating in initiatives like LEAM, the large European AI models, to advance models based on our shared European needs. But we want to run this race ethically. We were the first company in Europe to establish our own ethical AI guidelines in 2018. In 2022, we also introduced a global AI ethics policy, which applies to all SAPs globally. The policy is essential to build trust in AI by ensuring transparency, oversight, and address bias and discrimination. Because we believe in our responsibility to build and use AI ethically. While we all are on the verge of many unknowns here. One thing is for sure, SAP is in the race. Thank you and enjoy the conference. And now back to you, Fei.
And you can see, right, SAP, we are middle in the game of this innovation. And also, SAP is supporting Liam, Hans. Be happy that you have a very strong partner who support our European large language model initiative. When we talk about AI for enterprise, we are not talking about only AI technologies, because we want to infuse AI technology into applications, because these applications, in particular applications developed by SAP, will contribute to the efficiency of our customers' business processes. Therefore, for SAP's AI, the first pillar is build AI into our business applications, make our customers' business processes efficient, optimized, they can do optimized planning, right? Technology is only for application for our customer success. However, if we look at SAP, we can be very proud of our ecosystem. We have more than 400,000 enterprises, companies. The success of SAP's AI will be the success of our customers. However, since we cover more than 20 industries, verticals, and each company and each vertical, they have different workflow. Therefore, our technologies, our applications must be very flexible, easily adaptable. And low touch, no touch is very, very important. With narrow AI technologies, it's almost impossible to make this low touch, no touch happen. Therefore, with foundational model, generative AI, this support for customer will be possible. Therefore, I'm really happy with this generative AI development. Therefore, the second pillar is adaptable innovation. How can we make our customers successful? They are innovative, even if they don't have a data science team, even if they don't have a team of AI developers. Trustworthiness, we have talked a lot today. I will not repeat so much. And if you run a company, even run a very big company, in our SAP's term, it's simple. We can simplify into 4 lines of business. The first one called lead to cash. What does lead to cash mean, right? We don't use this term in our everyday life. It means one company, you start with the first contact with your customer, and then sign the contract, and then make them pay what you deliver, and also serve your customer experience. In all this end-to-end business process, AI is needed. Monitor the markets, find the trends, and also support with natural language, with chatbot, with digital assistant. And also design to operate. What does design to operate? Such a simple term. But for a manufacturing company, it's so important. Design the product, and also get the user feedback, improve the product, create a new product, and also control the supply chain. Make sure the supply chain be resilient, optimize the supply chain. And all they needs AI in order to make it successful. We know people are the most important sources for a company. Recruit to retire is which SAP we call it. Starting, find the talents, job description, we leverage generative AI to write job descriptions automatically, and also find the best candidates, and also how can we help our employees to develop and match the best positions, and help them also retire smoothly. And the source to pay, very important, right? How can we find the best suppliers? How can we make sure the procurement is successful and avoid the risks and get the payment done? And all these business processes needs AI. And the SAP, we have been working on this all these years. When we talk about AI for intelligent enterprise, we should think about the intelligent ecosystem, because it is not only about technologies. It must start with the data. For intelligent ecosystem or enterprise, the data is not only the data within one company. Right? Even within one company, we have a lot of data. We have emails, we have business transactions, we have data for supply chain, we have finance, we have human resource. All these data, they are structured data, they are unstructured data, they are textual data, they are semi-structured data. However, just imagine, right? If we want to monitor the trends of our customers, where can you find this data? Inside the company or outside the company? Tina. And if you want to monitor the supply chain resilience, where can you find the data? Also inside the company and outside the company, right? And also not only perhaps one company, perhaps the chain, right? The dependence, you have to monitor the dependence of the company, right? Therefore, very important, in order to make successful, we have to identify which data within the companies are relevant, which data also beyond outside company, and also the dependence among the company, and link them. How can we make them linked semantically, right? We need AI in this case again. Even in order to make data available, we need AI, right? Entity linking, natural language processing, and also all these technologies. And if we have linked data, the first step of value, and we can build machine learning models. On the one hand, implicit knowledge. Hans also mentioned implicit knowledge and also explicit knowledge. If we talk about SAP, right, we have 50 years of business process experience, business logics. This information we should not ignore. These are not data-driven. The combination of the explicit knowledge, also regulations, right, and also policies for customers. They are not data-driven. They are defined by humans. The combination of the implicit and explicit knowledge help us to develop applications. They are explainable. They are transparent, right? For automation, for human-machine interaction. Today, I think every customer expects the access to software should be natural language, chat-driven, right? We have to make it happen. And also optimization, planning, forecast. As Thomas mentioned, actually he gave half of my talk already. And all our applications have to contribute to the intelligent transformation of our customers, right? Our KPI is the KPI of our customer success. And furthermore, supply chain resilience, right? In supply chain resilience is so important because of the challenges. The challenges we have been faced in the past 3 years and now, right? And for us, it's also very important. As we mentioned also, the quantum computing this morning, right? We cannot do supply chain demand forecasts for weeks. Actually, we have to be able to react almost every day and real time, right? Companies have to react very fast. This is the reason the AI is needed heavily, and also sustainability. SAP, we have been providing AI solutions in order to help companies to identify, monitor their sustainability KPIs, and also do the optimization. And of course, as global head of AI, I'm so impressed by the success of JGBT, right? Within 2 months, 100 million active users. This is my dream in the past 3 years. I hope with generative AI foundational model, the adoption can really, generative AI and the foundational model can help my team, SAP, have high adoption of the AI applications. Because of the low touch, no touch, less annotation needed, this can really make happen. And also mind pressure will be lower. And as I also talked to many investors and also the market, right? The attention of investment market is really high now. And also, I think I'm really looking forward also to the success of industry AI. And I want to also summarize what I think it's really the most exciting advantages of foundational model and generative AI, also from the perspective of from industry, right? For example, before we have the narrow AI mainly do classification, right? Given a face, if we use face recognition in the morning, unlock our mobile phone, 3 technology behind it, right? Face, recognize the face, recognize which face behind it, whether it's a face of a real person, right? But now, with generative AI, they can create faces, right? Therefore, it's so important, the authentication, and also know where the content comes from is very important. The second one, from the supervised to self-supervised learning. This means the load of annotation is very lower, right? And for the low-touch, no-touch application is very important. And the emerging capabilities, this part I think also will be important for enterprise AI. Because now at SAP, we provide a lot of standard applications, standard business processes. But if our ecosystem has developed also new business models with emerging capabilities, we can perhaps cope with the long tail of the business processes. And the AI also make us humans surprised, right? Before we have the narrow AI, one AI technology only do machine translation, another do speech recognition. Now one AI system can do different tasks, like our humans. This means also how we will involve our software development. Perhaps we will have one industry foundational model which can cover different tasks. We don't need so many micro software services anymore. Perhaps the Microsoft service derived from the industry foundational model. These are all things which have to think about. This will change also the architecture of the enterprise solutions. And if I want to share with you what will be the impact of foundational model in industry for our customers, right? The expectation of our customer, they will change. They expect they will use our softwares with very easy chat, right? Text. They don't want to click anymore. Like in order to apply a vacation, they don't want to click and fill the starting date, end the date, and they want to say, I want to have a vacation from when to when, and for 1 sentence or 2 sentences, that's it, right? And also business transactions, right? Many business transactions can easily be done, also like travel reimbursement and a lot of boring work for my assistant. This will be done by chats and easily, right? And also for the product development, as I mentioned, right? For manufacturing companies, creative industry, perhaps the AI will make the first suggestions. Also, AI perhaps will make the suggestion based on the customer feedback, and do the proactive inspiration for the designer, for the product designer, for the innovation teams, right? And because of the less annotation effort, also our customers, because before they have to do a lot of implementation themselves, right? In the extension, the customers of SAP, they are also business process experts, right? If you look at their codes after 10, 15 years, they have built their business process themselves, right? And with less annotation, perhaps this kind of feedback of their input will be part of these solutions too. And for developers, I give many keynotes. I often make jokes, right? Say, in the future, we will not have programmers. We mainly have debuggers, right? The generative AI will provide us the codes. We just have to do the evaluation. I think 2 or 3 days ago, I let Codex write a search machine. Even it's very simple keyword search machine, but they are able to define the indexing part, the retrieval part. It's amazing, right? I think it's also for university, for education, very, very important. And what does it mean for the ecosystem for SAP ourselves, right? Because most of the companies, we are not companies who provide general purpose large language model. Right? We don't have the whole stack. And if we don't have the whole stack, we leverage some large language models, what will be our strategy? Of course, the most companies start with the low-hanging fruits. Use the model as is. I think many companies use it already, right? And also, as individuals, we use JGBT anyway. And perhaps can you share with me who are you use the model as is? Build some applications. Which kind of prompts are they submitting?
Have I now to say everything again?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next one. No. Shall I repeat that? Did you hear me? No? Okay, good, perfect.
Yeah, we use it a lot for coding, exactly. So we use StarCoder, for example. It just came out like a few days ago, and the Copilot from GitHub, and it's amazing. So the debugging part, I told the underwrite that it's working like a charm. So you don't have to code for 3 hours. You have to check for half an hour maybe. And the GDP4 can, if you tell them that there's a problem with the web scraper, for example, and tell them where it can reoccur that and do it by itself. And then you have a web scraper, and I don't know, and I would say an hour, and it's done, and it's really good. So we use it all the time.
Yeah. Great, right? I think the first bubble, use models as it is no-brainer, right? I think every company will go for it. And we have to leverage this opportunity, right? The second one is tune the models on your own data. Because, for example, as SAP, we have our own programming language. I don't know whether you know it, ABAP. Right? I don't think in the codex there are so many ABAP codes because we don't disclose to outside world. And if we want to develop new ABAP codes or to rewrite, and we have to infuse ABAP code into the language model. And this means also under legal conditions, right? And we have been also working with different vendors in order to make this possible. And the third one is even Elon Musk, they wrote a letter saying we have to stop generative AI for 6 months. However, if I look at the third bubble, we have so much work to do, right? Given the large language model, how can we deal with other important industry data, right? Like business process data, tabular data, time series data, also chemical industry, chemical formulations, and also biological data. These are data the large language model still did not understand. There's still no connection because also the application will be different, right? For the time series data, transaction data, we need a prediction. We did recommendation. Perhaps also we need a composition of the business processes, right? These are still missing. And also for the chemical formulation, how many chemical companies, they ask for help, how can large language model plus their data in order to contribute to their innovation? Therefore, I think we cannot stop research and development. We have to continue, even invest more in order to make it happen, make our industry successful. And I will not go deep, because this morning, these slides in different style has been presented several times. And I want to only share with you some very simple example, right? Which is, you can start very easily. We can leverage embedding in order to combine two steps, right? Retrieval and also leverage large language model in order to provide very natural response, like how can I adapt my business process for what calculator, and we can embed the business knowledge, business processes, and also leverage the questions in order to find the right results, and the results can give, the large language model can help us formulate a good answer. This is a straightforward application. The second one is also Ulf is in the audience. Ulf and his team has been working on dealing with business document. With generative AI, we are able to easily adapt to new languages and new business document types. For example, given an invoice image, with OCR, we are able to convert into 2D structure in JSON format. And then we can put this as prompt, and the large language model can extract major business information, the structured information, right? It's a very easy application. However, we cannot stop with simple prompt engineering. Of course, prompt engineering can be also complex, right? I like there's a lecture given by OpenAI and deep learning, Andrew Ng. There's a very nice prompt engineering lectures. You guys, perhaps some of you have visited already. I think it's very useful. Even prompt engineering is not an easy thing. And I think for most companies, there are 2 or 3 most urgent things. One is upskill ourselves and upskill our teams, let them to become excellent prompt engineer. Because I think generative AI foundational model is not an elite group, like a central AI data science team. I think every employees, every product developer should have this knowledge in order to build great applications. The second one is also identify the needs of your company, right? Whether you are happy with leave the model as is, or you want to infuse your own data, or you want to build your own industry foundational model. If we go beyond prompt engineering, I think it's very important with continued training and fine-tuning. This will make your wished model, your results more successful. And I close with AI ethics. You cannot do AI, we not talk about it. As Thomas mentioned already, right? SAP, we are one of the pioneers in European Union. We defined AI ethic guiding principles in 2018. And also, I want to share also with you our practice. Not only we have this guiding principle on the paper, we also do the implementation in our everyday work and life. We have a governance. Every month, we have our steering committee within the company. They are experts from legal, experts from human resource, experts from in technology, engineering, marketing. We come together and study the use cases and identify the challenges with data and use cases. Furthermore, we also invite international AI ethics experts who can help us if we face some challenges, monitor our use cases. And our trustworthy AI workstream, they work with the different teams together, starting from the ideation of a use case and accompany them in development, deployment, and continuous improvement, and also the marketing. I think this together will make the AI ethics not only at a very conceptual level and goodwill, right, in the real world life and work. I stop here. I have still 30 seconds left.
Thank you very much, Fei, for a very insightful presentation. And so you do have 30 seconds, and I'm going to give the floor the opportunity to ask any questions. And whilst you're thinking through, you've had a very positive, largely positive, even in the crowd, view on generative AI. I'd like to maybe look at the other side of that, and what is it, from your perspective, the biggest challenge that it faces in actually being adopted, and where is that focal point and still need to be jumped through as a hurdle, if there are any, in fact?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of challenges, right? I think one of the biggest challenges, on the one hand, is generative AI is so exciting. They can also take over so much work, right? Write essay for us, create a PPT for us. However, I think one of the biggest challenges to identify the truth. The truth even for one company, right? Also identify whether the information really, the originality of the information, right? I think from the text point of view, it's less challenging if you create videos, right? I think this is the authentication of the content. It's very important.
And ultimately help us build more trust
Yes.
Generative AI. Thank you. Are there any other questions on the floor? Yes, please. It's a microphone. Lady in the blue blouse. Thank you.
There. So yes, when the chart that you showed regarding the evolving of basically people using LLMs now as is, and then going enterprise AI evolve. Yeah, this one. Different consumption and tuning patterns. Thank you. So definitely, currently we're at the use model as is, and partly at the tune models on data. I'm wondering, when you say enterprise AI, so at least when you look at the Deloitte AI reports, it always shows that enterprise AI mostly uses wrapped products now. So they use wrapped AI products, and they take as is and try to adapt it. And I see this also with LLMs. I see that currently most enterprises would try to get an LLM product, an AI product that works well for legal, or that works well for chemistry. Or, so do you see that as well, or do you really think that enterprises will adapt the knowledge how to build LLMs and then integrate that into their IT systems?
I think two things, right? Our customers, when they approach me, they have two questions. One question is, how can SAP leverage large language model, improve our portfolio in order to make their business process, their IT successful, right? This is SAP. We have to work on infuse structured data, transaction data into language model in order to do the prediction and also planning, right? This is one thing. Another thing is also our customers also ask, how can we help them to deal with like chemical industry and in order to help them to build their successful products. I think this is 2 points, right? When I talk about enterprise AI, I mainly talk about from the SAP point of view, right? The business process part.
And as SAP, you would mostly sell wrapped AI products, right?
Wrapped, I will not call this AI product, I will call them business AI applications, right? AI is part of the product, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you, Fei. It was a delight. Thank you.
Thank you.
A truly insightful talk. So before you all stand up to leave, I have a pleasure to introduce our next esteemed guest.